Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Franchise Pearson. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Franchise Pearson, and welcome again to my channel. The day after Thanksgiving, and yes, we have a lot to be thankful for. November 28th of 2025, I had 3:32 in the p.m. I have a treat for you guys. Something that has been stirring in my soul for a few weeks, but after talking to a friend of mine, I am convinced this is the time to bring this up. You are looking at the late Pope Francis and President Donald J. Trump. When Trump was president, he went to see the pontiff and he gifted him with a lotus flower. A lotus flower. Now, this lotus flower has a lot of symbolism. I've talked about this before. Lotus flower means Kamala. Yes, like Kamala Harris. I don't believe that it's a coincidence that Kamala Harris was the vice president. I do believe she will be president again for a brief period. What I want to show you in this video is that the lotus flower, out of the lotus flower in Egyptian history, and in other times, it is believed that out of the lotus flower comes a god. In Egyptian is the sun god Ra. When he comes, it is a new birth, a new start. It reminds me of when Donald Trump says a golden age. Well, the name of this lotus flower that he gave him, it is called, let's pull that up, New Horizon. New Horizon. I believe it's called New Horizon. And let's see here. Yeah, I believe it's called New Horizon. We'll get into that. But it's wordplay. There's a new system coming. Oh yeah, and it's deep. And I can't wait to bring this to you because you see they're in the home of the Pope. Well, Trump will be in his home, that is the White House, the political home. This lotus flower, as the sun god births a new system, it cancels out things. So I want you to understand it from this standpoint. When a lotus flower birthed the sun god Ra, then everything becomes new. So the religious institution has to leave and a new one comes in. The political system has to leave and a new one comes in. Read between the lines of what I said. The first religious system, he already made his demise. Do you follow me? Okay, now I think I got your attention. Now, the situation that just happened a few days ago in D.C., where 2 National Guards were shot and one has died, that should bring you pause, especially after the leader of the Department of War, Pete Hegseth, what did he say? I'm going to play it for you. It's a mind blower because I don't think a lot of people caught it. Listen to this.
Actually unfolding right here on the streets of D.C., as you mentioned, just a few blocks away from the White House. The latest news coming from the governor of West Virginia, the commander-in-chief of the West Virginia National Guard, confirming that 2 of his service members have been killed on the streets of Washington, D.C. This attack happening a few minutes before 3 p.m. this afternoon outside of the Farragut West Metro Station. That's one of the more popular stations here in D.C. 3 different train lines that run through. This was also an attack that appeared to happen just outside of the station. I was hearing from a source who had a good vantage point from this, where you could see that those service members were simply right outside of a bus station. It was like a glass enclosure. And it...
What happens now? What happens now? Well, let me tell you what happens now. Now, let me back up a little bit. The governor misspoke. The governor said that both National Guardsmen were unalive. That wasn't true. They were really injured. One has succumbed to her injuries. And my condolences. But listen to Pete Hegseth. Again, this will be a mind blower. His response.
That 2 National Guardsmen have been shot in Washington, D.C., critically wounded. The shooter shot in a cowardly, dastardly act, targeting the best of America. Heroes willing to serve in Washington, D.C., serve for people they don't know and they've never met because they love their country and their capital and their community. They were willing to do dangerous things others were not because they love their fellow Americans. Someone decided to turn that into targeting National Guardsmen. That will only stiffen our resolve. We will never back down. We will secure our capital. We will secure our cities. In fact, this happened just steps away from the White House.
Did you hear what he said? He said this happened steps away from the White House. Listen.
We will never back down. We will secure our capital. We will secure our cities. In fact, this happened just steps away from the White House. We will not.
This has troubled me. And like I said, a few weeks ago, something hit me. And you guys know over a month ago, I also said that the National Guard's presence and ICE presence, at some point, somebody would possibly be severely injured. That's what I predicted. Now it has happened. The progression is leading to something, people. I've already showed you that the Pope is gone. Well, they're going to take out somebody else. The lotus flower is going to strike. But it won't be what you think it is. It's going to be fake. They're going to create something fake. And he will be gone. He will be somewhere else playing golf. Read between the lines. It's all game. Now, check this out. I presented this in my last video. This is Jill Biden's Nutcracker. Nutcracker. I did a few videos on this when it came out. I want you to notice right away, in my humble opinion, this resembles a snake on this lady's back. She's a ballerina. To me, that's an eye, and that's an eye, and that's a snout. And she's got on the purple, like Phoenician. And she's going to do her arms and wiggle to me like she's summoning something. Then you're going to see that lotus flower, okay? You're going to see that lotus flower. That's what this is, a lotus flower. You're going to see that. And you're going to say, what a coincidence. And I'm going to show you what I believe they've been doing a future past in front of us. Now watch. Now you notice her introduction? What is that on her front? Looks like a snake, doesn't it? Eyes, and a snout. Look at that. Does it not? Let's look at it again. We're back in the garden, God told me years ago. We're back in the Garden of Eden. And look, you're following allegedly the snake, and what comes out? The lotus flower. Are you kidding me, Pearson? No, I'm not kidding you. The lotus flower comes out. Right here, that's what it is, the lotus flower. Now what happens, the third person that comes out after that is the person that's going to be targeted. Watch this, in the blue suit. Right there. This person's going to be targeted a little bit later, in my humble opinion. Now you got the Phoenician colors of purple and Tiffany blue. Purple and Tiffany blue right in front of you. That's the Phoenician colors. I will show you guys. New subscribers, I will put this video in the link. This is crucial to your learning. See the colors there? They won't always be the same shade. It's in our face. See the colors, purple and blue? That's the old group of the Phoenicians. They were seamen. They went out to the sea. They used to get a purple dye out of a seashell or a snail. Okay? You see Kamala there, Harris? She got on the shirt with the two colors. This is the hidden gods that's running the earth right now. See that? The purple and the blue. I will put that video in the link. Okay? I don't want to make the video too long, but look, see the purple and the blue? All right? And then the sun god colors, of course, are red and gold or red and orange. Well, Pearson, it's the Nutcracker. I know. They got the theme, but I want to show you what I believe they're showing us. Now you go from room to room and they're dancing, and then you're going to come into a point where they're going to be in a room and you're going to see somebody who's a famous president from back in the day. Okay? Now watch this part right here. You're going to see them dance. These two people are going to dance, and then they're going to sway their hip. They're going to sway their hips. To me, it's like a bullet. Watch. This is the one. To me, this is like a Donald Trump type person to me. Watch this. You see him sway their hips? You see him sway their hips? Watch. And he catches it, and then what? But while all this is going on, look at who's here. Abraham Lincoln. And you know what happened to him? Now, you might not believe this, but work with me. I'm going to show you something. Let's look at the lotus flower. Look.
It's commonly accepted that the lotus is the symbol of resurrection and rebirth, of a new life, of eternal lives. They are aquatic plants. Lotuses send out their roots deep into the dark, fertile mud below the waterline. Then their stem and bud reach upward toward the surface until it breaks forth into the daylight. They just kind of happily float on the water, soak up the sun, following its light throughout the course of the day. Then it closes its bud at night and sinks back down beneath the water to do it all over again the next day, like Ra emerging from the cosmos.
You what he said? Like Ra, the sun god Ra emerging from the cosmos. Listen.
Like Ra emerging from the cosmic ocean. And you may remember from our first lessons that Ra is often shown actually coming forth from the opening petals of a lotus blossom.
See that? That's your ancient history. This is Ra. See?
Opening petals of a lotus blossom. Look.
And give you one last picture. Look. That's the sun god Ra coming out. And there's your petals right there. So why would Trump give that to him? It's deep, y'all. It's deep. It's deep. Now, here you go. Harris. Kamala Harris' name is inspired by the lotus flower. Kamala means lotus flower. Just letting you know. Okay? She's coming soon. Now, 1989, October 18th, Gerald Ford said this.
Facilities.
Mr. Ford, what advice would you give a young lady wanting to become President of the United States?
Well, I hope we do have a young lady at some point become President of the United States. I can tell you how I think it will happen, because it won't happen in the normal course of events. Either the Republican or Democrat political party will nominate a man for president and a woman for vice president. And the woman and man will win. So you'll end up with a president, a male, and a vice president, a female. And in that term of office of the president will die.
And he said, due to unusual circumstances and not the normal course. Remember, she's coming back. Kamala's coming back. And you got to keep in focus what he said. This situation with the 2 National Guards happened steps from the White House. So, to me, they're building a plot that inside the White House, put it together. That's what's coming, I believe, and I'm gonna break it down to you. Now, this extravaganza was December 13, 2023. This thing that they just did, I just showed you, right? Remember that? I just showed you all that, right? Okay. Now let's look at the date. That was 12/13 of 2024. Let me see here. I think that was the anniversary. So it took place 12/14/2023. Oh, well, that's the that's Joe Biden, 12/14. Let me redo this. 12/14. I don't think so. It'll make too much of a difference. 12/14/2023. Now the anniversary of that, of course, is I wanted to show you guys something. Okay, yeah, the anniversary would be 12/14/2024 versus this Christmas coming up, 12/24/2025, gives you 111. So 12/14/2024, that's the anniversary of that Nutcracker being done by Joe Biden at the White House versus 12/24, I'm believing something could happen because that's Christmas Eve. Here's my logic. On Thanksgiving Eve, somebody got shot, 2 National Guardsmen. Either way, the difference is 111. I've been calling that snake eyes. Remember this here? July 4th of this year, we had what? A mailbox with 111 on it.
You know this flood was coming. Rest assured, no one knew this kind of flood was coming. We had flood.
They said they didn't know the flood was coming. Look at the mail. What are the odds I would find a video on YouTube with the floods that happened on the 4th of July in Texas? In Texas, 111. Also, what you need to understand, all this symbology, when you talk about the lotus flower taking out both of these people, you have to remember Pope Francis died on April 21st, the 111th day of the year. Now you see it? 111. 111. Nutcracker anniversary, Jill Biden. Christmas Eve, 111. You see how it's coming together? Could this be happening? Now look, Donald Trump gave the Pope that lotus flower on May 24th, 2017. There it is, called Rising Above. May 24th. Right here. He gave that to him. Let's listen.
That this event would be prophetic and that I would be analyzing the symbolism would have read about this very same species only 3 days earlier. So what is the important symbolism? The lotus is one of the most occult and ancient symbols of the natural world. And the fact that Donald Trump chose this sculpture, which was entitled Rising Above, is of grave concern. The lotus is the flower sacred to the Aryan Hindus, Egyptians, Buddhists, and more. References to it are found in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Jewish mystic religion of Kabbalism, and several other pagan religion texts and sculptures. For the occult, it represents the divine rebirth unto enlightenment, an abstract concept that is brought to life in the concrete or visible form of a lotus. It is, in essence, the same symbolism as the enlightenment of the all-seeing third eye.
It's all together. Lotus flower, third eye on the dollar bill, and Donald Trump saying we're going to have a golden age. It's the rising. So the old system is going to separate. See, the old system is here. The new system is coming. You understand? Rising above. It's deep, y'all. I hope you're getting education out of this. Let me know in the chat. Now look, in iPet Goat 2, it shows that as well. You're going to see the Antichrist come through a birth canal, like a woman giving birth. That's like Kamala giving birth to this Egyptian sun god Ra. Watch this. See it shake, and here comes your Antichrist. Now watch what's going to happen on the boat. See the petals? See the petals? What is that? What are those petals? Those are the lotus flower. Isn't that something? The sun god Ra. He comes out, and he comes out through the birth because the lotus flower birthed him. It's so deep. They tell you ahead of time, allegedly. Now look, 5/24/2025, that's the anniversary of 5/24. That's the anniversary that Trump gave the Pope the lotus flower. Take that from Pope Francis' birthday, which is 12/17/2025, would have been this year. The difference is 6/24. What's 6/24? That's the video I just showed you. 6/24. iPet Go 2. That's what that is. Isn't that something how it come together? Now look, this happened last week. I ran this video. We're going to go back to Abraham Lincoln. Remember? I know it's long, but it's worth it, baby. It's worth it. This video is worth it. Here's Abraham Lincoln here. After this person gets shot, here's Abraham Lincoln right here. This is that extravaganza by Jill. Now watch. Watch this.
Your Holiness.
This is my governor, Prickster. On the 19th, he met the Pope, and watch what he gave him.
It's very nice to meet you. Thank you for welcoming me.
You're very welcome.
And we bring good tidings from Chicago.
Thank you very much for
to come to Chicago.
thank you very much.
From me and from my wife, and we look forward to welcoming you sometime.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for the, well, in a positive way, mayhem.
Yeah.
You see, look, he gave him that. See, it says Lincoln, Lincoln, Lincoln. What are the odds? Is this thing close? They took out 2 National Guards, steps from the White House. Isn't that what he said? Steps from the White House. Now we got Lincoln being given to the Pope. And we got Lincoln right here in the Nutcracker demonstration. Is that coincidence? Now watch. Here's Lincoln's birthday, 2/12. The first Nutcracker was performed December 17, 1892. December 17, 2025, bring it up to date. The same year, 2/12/2025, Abraham Lincoln's birthday. The difference is 44. Barack Obama, who I believe is the Antichrist, he was the 44th president. Is that coincidence? Nutcracker, 2/12/2025. 12/24, the day that something could happen at the White House. The difference is what? 45 weeks. Trump is the 45th president. Is that coincidence? Jill Biden, her birthday is June 3rd. Take June 3rd, 2026, next year. 11/20, we just had Biden's birthday. And also we buried Dick Cheney. The difference is what? 6/14. What is 6/14? 6/14 is Donald Trump's birthday. Jill Biden's birthday, subtracted from her husband, former President Joe Biden, is Trump's birthday, 6/14. You want receipts? Donald Trump's birthday. Right there. It's deep, y'all. Why would I bring that up? Because she's the one that did the what? She did the Nutcracker. Okay? You put them together, you put him and her husband together, come out to Trump. How is that possible? Now look, we just had construction on the east wing of the White House. It started October 20th, right? October 20th is her birthday. Do you see the symbolism? We just started the construction at the White House, October 20th. That's her birthday. Take her birthday this year, subtract it from the day that she lost to Trump. November 5th, she lost to Trump. The difference is 11/22. What's 11/22? You know what happened to him. Lincoln, Kennedy, they got something in common. I'm Friend Shot Pearson. God bless.